Hey, today I'm going to be making multiple flavors of my creamies and I want to show you how I do it. This is roughly 105 calories and 5 total carbs. And you would never know you're not eating ice cream that you bought from a store, in my opinion. So we use keto chows is half of a pack. So this one is just half. I use one full serving of this and a full serving of this, and this together makes 2 servings of my nighttime protein creamy. So, all right, stick around. You'll see how I make 3 different ones. I've lost 180 pounds with a combination of carnivore, keto, and counting calories. I reached my goal in November of 2022, and over the past year and a half, I've noticed the scale went up about 8 pounds. Let's experiment with carnivore and counting calories and see what improvements I can make. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I always feel like a mad scientist whenever I do this, but to get these started, we are going to get, I could just look at this and it'll tell me where the 8 ounces is, I think. Hang on. So I'm going to do 8 ounces of milk. But, let me find it again, where'd it go? All right. So we're going to do 1 cup, which is 8 ounces of milk. It's also 240 milliliters, so I can go that route too. Now remember, I do a full serving of milk and a full keto chow, and then I divide it into 2. So that's gingerbread is going to be the flavor. So hopefully I will remember to write that down on a little sticky note. Let me pull it out so I can do it right now. Right now. All right. So now I dump a whole serving of gingerbread in here. Okay, so from here we've got the gingerbread in, or the protein powder and the milk. So now I put my lid on. Oh, wait a minute. We're going to try something tonight. We're going to add 1 serving of this is just gelatin. Just plain old Knox gelatin. And our serving is a ½ teaspoon. So we're going to put that in there. All right. Now, from here, I'm going to put my lid on, and I'm going to add some warm water to this. So this is where we're at now. I'm going to add water. Be right back. All right. Now I'm going to close it up. I'm going to shake it up. Now listen. This is not as good as using a blender. So if you want yours to be really smooth, use a blender. I do it in a batch, and I don't really, you know me, I'm not a texture person. I don't care about that stuff. So I do that. Now please note, you saw it was up to here, then the rest of this is water. So now I take it. Let's taste it. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. Just kind of pour it halfway between there and here. It ain't going to be perfect, probably. And you'll see chunks. You'll see chunks come out. Put the rest in there. Now we're going to add some more warm water in here. I'll be right back. That might not be enough. I don't know. I do warm just to kind of help break down the protein powder. And I like to do it like about a finger's width. A pinky's width from the top. Hang on. So that way, when I'm mixing it up, hang on. Alright. So that way, after I mix it up, I can add a splash of milk or one of my flavor things over there, my coffee things. So now, this is how I do mine. I get one of these jobbers, and I say gingerbread. And I usually stick it on just one of the lids. I put 2 lids together. I put it on one lid. Now I'll show you how I store it. Hang on. Okay, so there's the 2 new ones, and I just lay these on top. I don't know why. It's just what I do. But that way I know that's the ones. And after they freeze, then I'll put the lid on them. You know, it still don't help with the bubble. I still get a bubble on them. But anyway, but yeah, so that's those two. Now hang on, we'll do another one just so you see how I do it. Okay, so this next one's going to be salted caramel. Oh, wait, no. I like to add the milk to it first because otherwise it all sticks to the bottom. So hang on. Do our 240 grams and then our 1 serving of the protein powder. Now, if I had a different brand, I would do, doesn't matter. I'd still do 1 serving and divide it into 2. So now, like I said, we're going to try this again. I used this once. I don't know if I could really tell a difference. That's why I want to try it some more. So now, I'll put the lid on here. And I'm going to add in some hot water. I'll be right back. Screw the lid on tight and shake, 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 Sonata. Shake it all the day. Shake, 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 Sonata. Shake it all the way. We're actually going to make a half of one. So I'll show you how I do that. I've done that. I think I've done it twice now. Let's taste that one. Yep. Tastes like a caramel candy. And again, I just divide it. And like I said, you're going to see chunks and bubbles and whatnot pour out. And that's all right. Now we're going to add some more water. It's also good because then you kind of clean out the inside of your jobber whenever you rinse it one more time. And again, just a hair below that max fill line. Just a hair. Well, that's got a bunch of bubbles in there. Oh, no, it'll be all right. So now, I'm going to store these on another shelf. I'll be right back. So now I'm going to show you how I do a partial. So I'll zero it out. Half of 140 is, or half of 240 is 120. So I'm going to add 120 grams. And it ain't perfect. Don't be wrong. Like that's 134. But I ain't stressing about it. I'm going to try to do half of a teaspoon. So I guess that's 1/4 a teaspoon. Put that in there to be washed later. And the flavor we're using is going to be chocolate this time on this one. So I'll shake her down. And I have to double check because I always forget. Okay, it's 43 grams. Actually, it's 44 grams. So I want to put in 22 grams of this. Yeah, buddy. Good job, Tara. Good job, Tara. Now, I just fold this down. And I just close it off. Hang on. Put me a little clothespin. I'll take the best chip clip you can ever buy is a clothespin. Do that. And now, this holds 16 ounces, I think. So I don't want to go that high. So hang on. Let me see where my numbers are. What the heck, dude? I can't see them. Hang on. All right. This is the 12 ounce mark. So I'm going to add water right to my thumb. I'll be right back. All right. So it's right there. Where'd my lid go? Definitely want to make sure you screw your lid on good and tight and shake her up. If you do less, you can always add more water to this to, after you pour it in. It's going to be good. Oh, that was good. I might just do a splash just to get the extra little bits of powder in there. Look at that, boys. Look at her. Look at her, boy. Look at her. So now I'll pop this in the freezer and I'll show you how I have them stored. Hang on just a second. All right, so there's the 2 gingerbread. There's the 2 salted caramel. And here's the chocolate. I got the lid right here off to the side. So I'll pick one of these tomorrow night, and we'll have one. I don't know which one I'll have, but tomorrow night I'll also put the lids on all of them, so that way they're not sitting there open to the freezer to evaporate. So now I just gotta close this gently, but that's my five ones that I'm doing. So this is just a simple. Let me show you how I make them. So okay, bye. Okay, so this is the next day, and I'm gonna keep them side by side. This is the gingerbread. I'm gonna put the lid on it. Sometimes the lids don't fit very well, but I just am careful when I pick them up. So I'll keep these two gingerbreads. Now see, that one did good. It's mostly flat. Just a little bump. Hang on. Okay. Then the caramel, it's mostly flat. Just a little bit of a bump. So this is the caramel. But I'm going somewhere tonight, so I'm not open. Now see, this one is definitely a bump. You see that? So I go in with a, I'll show you on the chocolate one. Hang on. All right. So we're going to eat the chocolate one. So that's how this looks. Come on, I'll show you what I do with it. I take an ice pick. I fully understand that some people say that they don't do this, but the instructions say it should be flat, so I do. So I take an ice pick and kind of chop up. Sometimes the bubble is like that tall. So I take an ice pick and chop up the bubble just a little bit to kind of help it not be quite as bumpy. Make it not quite so bulgy. Because the way somebody explained it, and I don't know if they were lying, I don't know, but I know the instructions say it should be mostly flat. But now I'll clean this off later with the bleach wipe. But anyway, but the way they explained it is a blade, and it should go in, and if it goes this way, then it could mess up. It could like dislodge or something. So anyway, all right, let's go over to my machine. This is how I do it. All right, don't be looking around. I live here. You just mind. You just focus on this spot right here. Just focus on this. I got other stuff going on over there. So I take it and I put it in here. And I'm going to show you the whole process for cleaning it and everything. So then I put my little blade in here. Because you have to decide if this machine is going to be too much work or not. So we put this on. We line it up. And when the lid's on, there's this little bitty thing that pokes up. So then I pop it on here. And then there's a bunch of options to choose on this screen. I choose the light ice cream. I think that's like, the watery stuff. So here we go. All right, so now when it's done, you push your little button and bring it down. I have been adding various of my syrups. I'm going to use the classic caramel because I think caramel will taste good in this. So I'm just going to do a little pour. And it's going to get in there. Now, I've done just plain milk. I've done plain water. You do whatever you want to do. Now, I'm going to put this back on. I'm going to hit respin. But while it is respinning, I take my container and I fill it up with hot soapy water. So while this is respinning, I'm going over to the sink to fill this with hot, like Dawn, dishwashing soap. So I'll fill this up. I'll be right back. Okay, so now, don't be looking, don't be judging, don't be judgy McJudgerson. So we got our soapy water right here, and it's done. Let's go take a look. Okay, so now let's take it down and see if we did it good. Usually, if this kind of sticks a little bit, I know it's going to be good. And look at that texture. Look at that. All right, so there's no cream down in this, so I don't have to wash it. But now, I'm not going to show it to you. Come on, let's go over to the sink. I'll show you what I do in my next step. So come on. All right. So first off, I do this. Yes, I do. And then you got to turn the blades. And then you got to lick that out. It's just like licking the beaters. But you got to let your turn your water on while you're doing it. I almost forgot. So now, I rinse it off. And I disconnect the little jobber. Plop it all down in the hot soapy water. And then before I do anything, hang on now, let's come over here. So I got that. Before we even take a good bite, we take a bleach wipe. I'm just showing you my process. I clean off my little ice pick. And now let's go over and we're going to wipe off the little jobber. Come on. Underneath here, hang on, let me see if I can get you down. All right. Yes. Anyway, underneath here is this metal bar. And this metal bar, yeah, you can kind of see it. It's what pushes the spinner down into your ice cream. So supposedly there's like a rubber gap stop up there. So you don't have to worry about trying to pull it down. But after it's done, I wipe it off with bleach. And then that way, I have it cleaned off. So now I take my little plate and let's go back over to the other side. Okay, so now from here, we just... And you see how full that thing is? Full to the gills. Now, let me get the macros and tell you how much this is. So hold on. Now you're grown up, so you gotta do your own math. I ain't doing it for you. Half of one of these is how much we use. So I'm gonna only tell you what's in a whole one of these. A whole protein powder. Serving, it's 131 in one serving, so cut that in half. Fat is 1 gram, so half a gram of fat. Sodium is 826, so cut that in half. Total carbs is 4, so cut that in half. So you got, what's 13 divided by 2? We'll just say 65-ish calories, and how much? And then 28. So 28 fat or protein, so cut that in half. So 60-something calories, 2 carbs, and 14-something grams of protein. Then we come to this. Again, half of a serving. So a full serving is 80, so we're talking 40 calories. A full serving is 6 carbs, so we're talking 3 carbs, and 13 protein, so we'll just say 6 protein. So put those two together, and you get all of this. So all this for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So around 100 calories, you get this whole thing. Yeah. Now, is this a strong flavor? Nope. Is it really sweet? No. Is it watered down? Yes. But does watering it down diminish your calories? Yeah, it does. So there you go. That's how you can have this for, okay, so 65, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So for 105-ish calories and whatever the other macro, and I think it was, and about five carbs. That's in this whole thing, and that's what you get. So again, this is not a meal replacement. And I know people will say you have to add fat for the vitamins and all that stuff. I don't use this as a meal supplement or meal replacement. I use this for a dessert. And in my food and my supper, there's always fat. Always. Because I eat burgers. So the fat in my burgers is sitting in my stomach as I digest. Well, along comes this keto chow that's down in my belly, and together they're doing their thing. Just mixing it together in a thing, sure, that, you know, in a putting the butter or whatever it is people decide to put in with their keto chow, that's going to bring out the whatever it is that people say it does. But sitting in my stomach, digesting all together, it's going to do the same thing, in my opinion. I ain't a scientist, but you got to do what's best for you. But that's how I make my keto chow, or that's how I make my creamies. So now you've seen it from start to finish. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. Come on over here. Let's finish up. Okay, so from here I get some hot water going. I get my brush growing. And I scrub this little jobber. I scrub, scrub, scrub. You can even pull out the little rubber part. You can do that. I make sure I get down in the hole real good. Scrub it and rinse it. And then I pull out my little blade here. And I make sure I poke down in that hole. And then I dump all the water out. And I rinse this bad boy out. Listen, I understand. I don't know. I may be doing it wrong, but I don't care. It works for me. So then I take this container and set it on here, this paper plate, on that plate. I got this little paper towel all ready to go. I set that in there and that in there. And then I put this back on my kitchen table. Come on. So here we go. Now it's just sitting over here for me to use for tomorrow night. Now, I just don't have a lot of cabinet space, so I can't have another thing up somewhere. And I know you see all my stuff everywhere. But anyway, so that's how I roll. So there you go. That's how I do my Ninja Creamies every night, my protein creamies. And it's yum yum in my tum. All right, and just remember, if you wanted to, if you didn't want to go through all the making, buy a flavored protein shake and just pour half of it in with water. There you go. You got the same thing. You wouldn't have to mix up all the stuff like I do. You can just buy a pre-made protein shake. I might try that sometime. I will try that sometime. All right. Well, anyway, bye.